Live from the KHOU 11 studios, it's Great Day Houston. And now, here's your host, Deborah Duncan.
Great Day Houston. As we continue College Week, it's time to give a hoot for the Rice Owls. They took the title at the Conference USA Championships.
And the Rice Owls are Conference USA champions. 41-24 victory over Marshall.
That looked cold. Please welcome Rice University's head football coach and CUSA Coach of the Year finalist David Bailiff and Vice President of Public Affairs Linda Thrain with the story of how Rice University almost didn't happen. Good morning. All right, first of all, congratulations.
Thank you very much. We had a lot of fun.
Yeah, you know, one thing that happens with a football team, although we know Rice has got so much to offer, and we'll talk about that in a second, is that football team gives you that national attention, and it just kind of rallies everybody around a cause.
You know what, this year was really special, and you know, when you win like we did, it starts at the top. We have a great president, a great coaching staff, but we have exceptional student athletes. We not only won a conference championship, but we graduated 100% this year and led the country in graduation rates.
Yeah, you know, that's one thing that's a little different for you as a coach, is that when you're recruiting players, it's one thing to have the athletic ability, obviously, but they have to have that academic ability as well. That's usually a little tougher than most other universities.
You know, it narrows your recruiting pool, it does, but it also allows you to recruit the future leaders of this country. And I'm just blessed every day I go to work with the most highly motivated 18 to 22-year-old young men in the country who go to class, who do the right thing in the community and work really hard at practice.
Okay, you're going to be with us for 5 more years. Just re-upped your contract.
I did. Excited about that.
Yeah. And again, congratulations on this award
Thank you very much.
Here as well, because that says a lot. All right, Linda, we talk about, you know, Rice University is, sometimes they refer to it as the Harvard of the South, but it's Rice and it's all on its own. But this is a university that almost didn't happen.
That's correct. We like to refer to ourselves as Harvard as the Rice of the North.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Yes, William Marsh Rice, who made his fortune in Houston and decided to leave it for the establishment of what was then called the Rice Institute, was unfortunately taken out of this world by his valet and lawyer. And it was up to Captain James Baker, his Houston-based lawyer, to go up and retrieve those funds. And Rice University opened its doors to students in 2019. I was here for the centennial in 2012. This was 1912.
Yes.
And the rest is history. We're Houston's oldest university.
Yeah, and you have a long list of people who've graduated from Rice who are famous. Howard Hughes, for example, was once the richest man in the world.
He didn't actually graduate, but he
went
did.
there.
Yes, he did darken our doorways. Yes.
All right, George R. Brown, which we know we have our convention center named after, and the founder of Brown and Root.
And George Brown worked with another Rice alum, Congressman Albert Thomas, to bring the Johnson Space Center to Houston.
Yeah, and there is Mayor Anise Parker as well. Lance Berkman, baseball all-star. Candace Bushnell, the author of Sex and the City, so a lot of us know of her. And I'm just going to go ahead and say you also can say that who also darkened your doorways is half the astronauts. Because you have a number of astronauts that actually went to Rice.
That's highly plausible.
All right. One of the things that Rice is known for as well is the research. You did $100 million last year in sponsored research. Let's talk a little bit about what Rice is in terms of the academic program.
Well, we have a full range of academic programs: the engineering, the natural sciences, the humanities and social sciences, of course, music. We've just had our Shepherd School Orchestra playing at Carnegie Hall the other night. Architecture, business, continuing studies, serving tens of thousands of Houstonians every year. Yeah,
you name it, you got it. And the #1 most impactful patent portfolio among American research universities as well.
A lot of people don't realize that Rice, for example, was the birthplace of the new science of nanotechnology that's affecting health, the environment, energy, transportation, everything that touches our lives in every way.
All right, you mentioned the 100% graduation rate. You have a couple of your players with you today, Gabe Baker and Tanyan Farley. Good morning. They are holding the trophy right there. Dave, let me ask you, there's another term that's used at Rice, and it's the residential college system, inside and outside of the classroom. What does that mean?
Yes, so one of the main things I think sets Rice apart from a lot of other universities is the residential college system. And a common comparison is Rice to kind of like Hogwarts and Harry Potter, to where the houses in Harry Potter are like the colleges at Rice. And so there are 11 residential colleges. Once the freshmen matriculate, you're kind of randomly placed in each college, and you're placed within them. They're all co-ed, they're all mixed majors, athletes, non-athletes, and so it's a really cool environment.
Yeah, you prove that athletics and academics can both go together. I think sometimes we have a tendency to separate the two. What is your major?
I'm an environmental engineer with a minor in business, so it's a handful, but it's all worth it for sure.
Yeah, and for you, was football something that you looked at and thought, I'd love for this to be a career someday, or was it a way to get your education?
I'd say a little bit of both. I definitely want to give my best shot and make it to the next level, but I always don't want to put all my eggs in one basket kind of thing, and so
yeah.
I was looking past football, and the opportunities that Rice presented was the best of all the other universities that offered me.
You got something to fall back on.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. All right, Tanyan Farley. Tanyan, so there's a good time at Rice. You know, it's not all work and no play. Tell us about some of the traditions that you guys have, especially during orientation week.
Well, we have a lot of traditions at Rice, and kind of as Gabe touched on with the residential college system, we have what's called O Week at Rice. And, you know, I'm sure you've heard of, orientation weekends at other schools. We have a full week, and the freshmen get there a week early and get to meet all the other people in the colleges. And it's a full day. And when I say that, it's, 1 in the morning till, the next 1 in the morning. There's not a whole lot of sleep going on. But, it's a lot of fun. You learn a lot about the school. You learn the history of the school. But you also have some good times with your, incoming class and some of the older people to mentor you. So.
Yeah, yeah. And what's your major?
I'm majoring in sport management with a minor in business.
And do you want to go play pro, or is this same question? Was this a way for you to get this great education?
Well, I mean, everyone wants to play in the NFL. I mean, I think that's definitely the goal. But I mean, it's definitely nice to have a Rice degree to fall back on.
Yeah. All right. Well, congratulations again on that win.
Thank you very much.
So we were talking about, some of the Rice alumni, and we happen to have one right here with us. You know who she is. You see her on the morning news. Catherine Whaley, who does our Hey, Catherine, how are you? All right.
Nice to see you both here.
So your experience at Rice, and how did you come to go to Rice? Because when you can get into Rice, you can get into a lot of places.
Well, I looked at a lot of different schools, and I really thought, hey, I want to go maybe somewhere a little bit different, and I thought different might be East Coast or West Coast. But when it really came down to it, and I looked at Rice as a prospective student, I grew up here in Houston, so when I looked at Rice, I thought, gee, do I really want to stay in my home city? And then just looking at what they had to offer, it was the obvious choice for me.
Yeah, you didn't have to leave home. You left home for your career, but now you're back home.
Yes, yes, it was wonderful. Wonderful experience. The college system was great. Seeing Rice athletics really take off, especially here in the last few years, has been really exciting too.
Yeah, the other thing is Rice is a little bit smaller campus than some of the other schools out there. Did you find that comforting?
I really like that, honestly, because you feel like a family, and especially with the college system, as Gabe was explaining, you have kind of a smaller network. You can get to know people a little bit better. And also, it's really, really exciting when you're an alumni and you see somebody else wearing that Rice ring. It's, a little bit more unusual compared to some other bigger universities out there. So there's a very tight bond with people who've been to Rice and graduated.
Yeah, I got to say, David, you gave me a shirt, a Rice Owl shirt, and I wear that every now and then, and people go, oh, did you go to Rice? I was like, that graduate school. Yeah. Yeah. The shirt is very powerful.
Well, navy looks great on everyone,
yes,
which is why I wore my navy dress today. But yes, I think anyone can wear the Rice colors and look great. So I'm sure you look wonderful in it, Deborah.
All I need to do is get a ring now.
Yes,
and, it will be good.
Those rings right there.
Yeah. And Linda was saying, she goes, of course, you could probably do that the right way, Deborah, but as opposed to just get it made. But anyway, congratulations. It's just one of those other jewels in our city in terms of leading people to a higher education. And we look forward to the playoffs next year and the win. All right. Thank you very much. Well, students at Rice, as we know, have some of the brightest minds, but it can't be all work and no play. Great Day's Courtney Perna is on campus with more. Good morning, Courtney.
Good morning, Deborah. I'm on the campus, like you said, of Rice University, where they're known for their unconventional wisdom. But more than a quarter century ago, a group of students used their wisdom in an unconventional way. We'll revisit one of the most legendary campus pranks.